had a couple videos ago, I did one about my thoughts about food shortages and stuff like that. And in that video, I said that I was more concerned about the weather. Well, here we are, November, what is it, November 4th, 5th, something like that. And we're gonna get what's left of a hurricane in a couple days. We are then, after that, it's 85 degrees today. And then a couple days later, we're gonna drop down into the 30s at night. So we're yo-yoing all the way around. So I need to move, I'm moving my one low tunnel I have, and I'm contemplating putting up another one. All summer, you probably saw that I had the bones of it on this bed here. So I had the hoop here, in the middle, and then at the end. But this bed right here this year is not gonna get used in the winter. So once these tomatoes are done, they're gonna be done. And then I'm not gonna put anything there. And then where you see the bare soil right here, from here over, that's just gonna be garlic. And then after that, we'll put some potatoes over here in about February. And we have a couple little chards here that are starting to grow and some kohlrabi. And once that's gone, we're gonna pick that and go with it. So there's really no need to leave the low tunnel there. I don't need it there. You know, everything that's gonna go there can take a cold, and then it can even take a freeze. And then these other beds back behind me, same thing. They're set up, they're ready for a cold. It doesn't matter. These two beds, I'm gonna let them, the tomato bed and then the turnip bed behind it and radish, once they're gone, they're gone. I'm gonna let them rest for the winter. And then these two, same thing. Once everything goes, I'm gonna let them rest. You know, the collards, they'll be fine all winter. The Brussels sprouts, who knows with Brussels sprouts in my area, we're gonna give it another shot this year. And then over here in the wild garden, if you remember, I was working on my bad soil. I had really bad compaction, so I need to work on that. We're gonna do this bed here. And I wanna do this bed. We have collards here. They should be, or not should be, they will be totally fine all winter. But we have all of these carrots that we started. And you see, like, these have their true leaves, and this second sowing doesn't have their true leaves yet. And then we put some more right here. So we just sowed those. The idea is I put a lot of carrots in these beds because I wanted to till down and work the soil over the winter. And that's what that's gonna do. So over the winter, these will continue to till down, and the carrots will be fine, but I wanna speed up the growth, and I wanna get more out of this garden. And I want to ensure that everything that's growing in it is going to go down into the ground and work that soil for me. Everything else here is basically frost proof. You know, we've got the cabbages, we've got some broccoli, we've got more broccoli back here. I actually have a couple potatoes that are coming back up. So we're gonna leave those and try and get some seed potato out of it possibly. I have actually more than I thought. I have 1, 2, and then that's a third, and then looks like a fourth back there. And so this one will be just fine. And then this one's just cabbages and a couple broccolis. Same thing, we're gonna just let that grow. But because of everything I had going on in the garden, I want it to keep active. I wanna keep working the soil. I want the roots to keep growing down. So as we go through, I may end up building more low tunnels for this area. And this is actually, believe it or not, I've noticed this is gonna be what I think, once I get everything straight, is gonna be a much better winter bed for me, a winter area, because it gets more sun. Because sun is a real issue right now. I mean, the sun is so low, it's crazy. So all I need for my low tunnels is PVC pipe. Now it looks like I bought it pre-bent, but it was just a straight piece of pipe. And this is why I left it all summer, so that it would continue to bend and, you know, just hold that bend better. So when I did move it, it wasn't that much of an issue. A couple pieces of 2-foot rebar, and that's just to hold the pipe in, and I'll show you how it goes. And then the only tricky part, and I'm sure you don't need this, would be these PVC pipe clips. And these actually hold the plastic. And then over here you see, I've got this, I had to clean it up because I left it out all summer, and I was washing it today. It's cleaned up. And we have under here, the only thing we have different is another piece of PVC pipe the same length as the bed, and we'll use that to control the actual tarp itself while it's on the garden bed. So it's pretty easy to do. It takes no time. to set up, and it's really cheap. I mean, I think I can set up a low tunnel here for 20 bucks maybe at most. And in my area in zone 8A in North Carolina, it really makes a difference. I want to space these out evenly amongst the beds, so in thirds. So I start in the corner and you just knock it down. And I mean, this is so cheap. I think each one of these pieces of rebar is $1. It actually would not be a bad idea for me to go ahead and just put one in every single bed that I have. All right, then, now that that's done, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want them just about straight. If it's kind of crooked, it's okay. This isn't an exact science. And then we're gonna take our PVC pipe here and put it on. And so you just take the end of the PVC pipe and you're gonna slide it into the hole. And it'll work like a sleeve, and see, it just holds right in place. We got that set up. I wanna show you these clips. So these are PVC clips, and I believe they're in the Amazon store below in the link. You just put these on, and when the plastic goes on, you put them on so it holds the plastic in place. Now, if you live somewhere where you get a lot of snow, you're gonna wanna put another piece of pipe running along the length of this low tunnel. And all I would do is take it, put it underneath, and then maybe use some zip ties right here. But then at the end, you'd want to cap it, like just get like a cap you slide on so it's nice and rounded so it doesn't tear your plastic. But since we don't get snow, we don't need to have that bracing for it. So this isn't going to be an issue. Well, the plastic that I use, the thickness, it depends on where you live. For us, we don't get super, super cold. So I think I have a 2 or 3 mil plastic. I'm pretty sure 3. If you're colder, I would get like a 5 mil or something. But I mean, we definitely get frost. But again, everything in this bed can take a frost. And that's really important to remember. So when you're doing this, think about like how cold does it get? How long does it get? Because I set mine up last year and I only had to use it like 3 or 4 times. It laid on the ground mostly, which was kind of annoying, but I was super glad that it was ready to go. So just like this, when it's ready, I can just come and put it on right away. All right then, so we're done. And then we have everything in. Just to go over a couple things real quick. Down here is that piece of PVC pipe, and I have it rolled in the plastic. And then somewhere along here, looks like at the ends, I have the PVC clamps in. So that would be this. And so I can just use this as a handle and lift it up and all the way over and just throw it over on the other side. And I'll have to take these off, obviously, but it takes 2 seconds. We're not supposed to be cold here for another 6 days, but I figure why not get it ready? If the weatherman's wrong, which you know he can be, then we can come out here and flip it over real quick and get that protection going on and keep these things growing as long as possible to enjoy the summer, or not the summer, to enjoy the sun that we have. Now the only thing that I have left to do here, put weights on the bottom here on each side. So what I'll do is I'll come out and I'll bundle this up and just put a weight down there. And you can see on the back here, I put a weight as well. So, you know, there's a weight here and then a weight there, and I'll probably put another one in the middle. And that just kind of keeps everything from lifting up if there's a wind or anything like that. Because the wintertime can be pretty windy here when we get those, you know, nor'easters and stuff building off our coast. The plastic is dirty, and that's because I left it outside for the summer. I probably won't do that next year. I'll probably end up rolling it up and folding it and putting it away. But all that'll clean off over time, you know, a couple good rains. I mean, when that hurricane comes, and it may actually, and that's another thing, if the wind's not really bad, then we can put this over it. And because it's clamped in and everything, that, I mean, it'll get pressure washed with the rain. It depends on what the wind's gonna do. I don't think it's gonna be really windy. It's just gonna be a lot of rain, which we desperately need. It's just really dry here. So 2 things that I've learned. One, when you plant in this, and if you're expecting to use this cover, don't plant right up against your raised bed, because what happened last year is I had kale that was growing in here, and kale can do fine in cold weather, but it got like 4 times as big in here. and where it was touching the plastic, it actually burned the leaves. So just be careful of that. And the other thing is just make sure you have a plan, you know, always be prepared. So for example, I'm gonna come out here and probably add one to this bed, and that bed back there. Just, I don't even have to have it set up, but just have everything in place because I still have leftover plastic. I mean, that's the thing about all this stuff. If you're even slightly concerned about your food and getting as much of it as you can, and you live somewhere where you can really get a harvest throughout the winter, if you try to do some season extension, or even if you don't have to, it can dramatically improve your chances of getting more food. So it doesn't hurt, you know. I think each one of the rebars are $2 and it's a couple bucks for the PVC. I've got leftover plastic from this one. So more than likely what I'll end up doing, because this plastic's in good shape, is I'll just make as much as I can based off of the plastic that I have. And if I run out, then I'm good. You know, I probably won't make any more. But at least I can have them set up and ready to go, because it took me like 3 minutes to move it. But if I can eliminate that, it's worth my time. You know, year over year, it's well worth my time. So as we get into the winter season, I want to make the content that you guys want to see. So if there's anything that you want to see, let me know in the comments below. And if you see something somebody else has, just give it a thumbs up or something. And then I'll know, because a lot of times in the winter, what I'm doing is a lot of rebuilding, a lot of like improving and stuff like that. But I can talk about whatever you guys want to do. I mean, I'm here for you. So let me know what you guys are interested in and I can try and work it in. I mean, we're going to be doing a lot of seed starting and greenhouse stuff, and we're definitely going to be working on the bed some and, you know, different areas, but there's so much time and there's really so much to do. And actually winter is my busiest time of year in the garden, most labor intensive, because I'm just doing all of this extra stuff that I don't do in the summertime, basically because it's so hot. I mean, dude, it's November 6th, whatever date we decided it was. And look at me, I'm sweating. That's crazy.